Hello, welcome back. Let's check my... Okay, it's working. Welcome guys back. I haven't been really messing around with my mic so much, but it should probably be a bit different since I have a little bit. So we do 3 scripts, just create 3 of them. So we should have quiz set, quiz manager, and maybe button select. That should work. Good, okay. Quiz manager, we probably could have had both these, but that's fine. We'll just delete them, and we still should be fine. And we had button select and quiz set. Now quiz set, we're going to do a few things. We're going to remove monodevelop, and we're going to put system.serializable, and that should make it a little bit better. Then we're just going to put a public string array, and these are going to be all your questions, right? So all the questions that you have. So this is essentially going to be a set of the quiz questions. So you can have 10 questions in one set, you can have 20 in the next, you can have 3 in the next, you can have 1 in the next, you know. So this is a set of questions, right? And we also want a public integer of the right one. Essentially the right answer, the right question, right? You can make it an array too, but we're not going to. But then you just need a bit more code, like a for loop or something. And then we want a string for title. I don't know why I made an array there. It's essentially in the title of the question, right? And then we want a public quiz set. Essentially what this is this is the constructor. So essentially, normally, whenever you build this, so whenever, because we're going to show you a list of this object, right? But you know, whenever you want to build one, you need to give me a few things, right? You need to give me a question. So up here, you need to give me a string array of all of the questions. You need to give me an answer, and you need to give me a title. And then all we do is we go, okay, questions is equal to a new string array of all questions dot length. Then we go into I is equal to 0, I is less than questions dot length, questions I is equal to all questions I, and that should be it. Don't forget your I++. Okay, and then we can move on to the next one, which is essentially just going to be title is equal to header. Now this is only if you're going to hardcode your stuff in. So if you want to hardcode questions in, you can. Very, very easily. Only if you want to hardcode questions in. If you don't, then this is fine. You don't need to have that. I am a bit sick today, actually. I'm very sick, so sorry if I sound a bit tired or whatever. Next we got a quiz manager. We want a few things. We use Unity Engine .ui. We also want to use the generic collections. In this code, I believe we don't use the normal collections, and I believe if you have generic, it will use the normal one as well. But you can have a new thing. You can say here, using system.collections.generic. You can do that or whatever, if you wish. We have a public list which is from our generic of quiz set, and we're going to call it our sets, and it's going to be equal to a new list of quiz set. Essentially, we're just building a new list, right? A list of an instance, a list of instances, basically. Now we're gonna have a game object, and this is going to be called. It's going to be a array of game object, and these are going to be all your buttons, right? Or your questions, whatever. They're going to be your list of buttons / questions. It's going to have another game object, and this is going to be called our prefab, our button prefab. Sorry, probably want to call it properly. Then we got a integer, which is going to be called our set number. We don't need to set it. Essentially, that's going to be what set are you up to? Your set number. Public transform, and it's going to be equal to panel. This doesn't need to be public. And then we got text, and we got text. Actually, no, we're gonna make these public. Or finished. You can make these not this. You can make them private, and I'll show you how to set panel later. Then you can just do the same, but I haven't, just because I just want to show a bit both. It's a bit easier for me just to copy and move them over. So essentially what we want to do is we want to make sure our set number is always going to be equal to 0 out of like, right? And then you want to panel is equal to game object dot find, and so panel dot transform, and that should get our transform. Now that's a bit later, don't forget that. This is gonna be void get next set. I'm doing a little bit of privatizing things just to make things a bit more secure. Actually, this doesn't even be public. Oh, this does need to be public. So everything's somewhat privatized, and now we're going to be back down into we're going to jump into our big code. So for each transform child in. Essentially what we're doing now is we're getting every single parent. We're getting every single child in the panel and we're destroying it. Because when we go from 1 button to 2, what will happen is if we're just going to create 2 buttons, we'll now get 3 buttons. And then if we get back 1, we'll get 4 buttons. And you see that we never destroy them. So there's no simple way to destroy them other than doing that for each command. And then we called it our buttons, then we is equal to a new game object array of game set, so quiz set, set number, dot questions, dot length. Oh, sorry. So basically what we're doing here is because buttons is an array, And arrays have to be said how big they are, right? So if we have an array of buttons and we want it to be 8 big, then the next array of buttons, we only want it to be 3. So each time we get a set, we want to make sure that we reset how big our button array is. So that's what that is. We're making a new game object array of this. And this is the big code. If quiz set, oh no, sorry, if sets, let's see my code. Yeah, I see. Dot count. So essentially, gain the length of an object is greater than set number. So essentially, what this means is if we have enough, if we still have enough sets, then do everything else. We're gonna say add a questions. Yeah, you have no more questions. For integer I is equal to 0. Oh my gosh. I is less than quiz set. No. I always do this every time. Sets. Set number. Dot questions. Dot length. Alright. Then we go I++. So essentially we're just getting a. We're just going through every single question. And for every single question, we want to create a button. We got a game object. Go, which essentially just stands for game object, it's just shortened, is equal to a game object cast of instantiate of a prefab. And then I'll explain this code once I do it. Okay, there's still a bunch of code, so I'm just going to explain this part. So we're essentially just casting. If you guys don't know what casting means, is that instantiate will create a game object, but we gotta make sure it'll fit into Go. Alright, so we're just saying, okay, well, because if we just move this game object, you'll see what will happen. It will go, hey, we don't like this. See, we're converting an object to a game object. We need a cast. So that's, I couldn't think of the name for it. I was gonna say transform, but it's not. It's an object to a game object, which is quite different. And we change the name to be equal to I plus nothing. You can go I to string or whatever. I is like I plus nothing. It's just a symbol of what we use it. And we go buttons. Buttons is equal buttons I is equal to go. So essentially, we're saying, okay, our game object of I, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, so we can actually have a list of our buttons. I don't know why we're doing this now. Do we ever need it? I never need button. I never need these. It's useless. I'm just thinking, do you ever need it? I can't see my code. Well, that's saying that we can move later. I must have written it eventually, try and do something else, but obviously it's different now. I always thought it was useful, but it's obviously not. Oh my gosh, come on. Getting component in children. I should say that. And that component's gonna be text. Then we're gonna access the text to text, and we're gonna go, okay, that is equal to quiz set. Oh, sorry, sets. Set number. To questions of I. So, but we could just go go.text, go.get component, like this, like that. We're going to remove buttons completely. I didn't see if that makes a difference. But that is one small change, I guess, I need to make. Then go text.text, which is essentially going to be our header. So this would be probably say header text. Okay, so the video is going to stop here basically. We'll just finish this and then of set number. And then we can go okay else debug.log out of questions. There you go. Let's get next set completely done. I know this episode's been a bit shorter, but the next stuff I kind of want to do in a different episode. So I will be doing that in a different episode. Thanks guys for watching.